Hamoud Abdullah Hamoud is one of two Saudis cleared for release from Guantanamo Bay. The other is Saad Mohammed Hossein Katani. There's no public picture of him. US records claim both men were suspected of being members of al-qaeda, and it was considered a high risk both would rejoin if released. There's been a comprehensive review of their cases by the Guantanamo Review Task Force. All 6 departments and agencies involved are said to have reached a consensus to let the men go. But now it's been confirmed both were transferred to Saudi Arabia in a weekend operation. In a statement, the Pentagon Special Envoy for the closure of the facility on Guantanamo said,
"The U.S. has made real progress in responsibly transferring Guantanamo detainees, despite the burdensome legislative restrictions that have impeded our efforts."
US President Barack Obama ordered the prison camps closed in 2009, but he hasn't yet secured congressional approval to do it. Speaking at the United Nations in September, he again briefly announced his intention.
We're transferring detainees to other countries and trying terrorists in courts of law while working diligently to close the prison at Guantanamo Bay.
The Saudis' release comes just 2 weeks after 2 Algerians were freed and ahead of the anticipated release of 2 Sudanese prisoners. These are among the detainees who won't be charged and are not considered a threat. There are prisoners who won't be charged with any crime because it's alleged they were tortured and that evidence would be inadmissible, and they won't be released because they're still considered a threat. But a number of cases are being reviewed by what's called the periodic review boards.
Realistically, there are people there who are old, who are sick, who couldn't pose any sort of threat to the U.S. even if they wanted to. There's the question of what the armed conflict is. Is there still an armed conflict with al-qaeda? If some of these people were part of the Taliban, what happens when the U.S. withdraws from Afghanistan? So the PRB process is really designed for the government to come up with some reason to release these men.
More than 500 prisoners have been freed from Guantanamo since they started arriving there from all over the world in 2002. 160 men remain in custody. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, Washington.